When missiles fly over the Middle East, fuel pumps here in India start to feel the heat. The Israel-Iran conflict isn't just another headline, it's a direct hit on India's oil economy. Let me break this down. India's oil marketing companies, IOC, BPCL and HPCL, are under serious pressure right now. Here's why. First, let's talk about the price shock. Just days ago, Brent crude shot up 12% to $78 a barrel after reports of Israeli airstrikes on Iran. Now India imports 88% of its crude. A $10 spike in oil prices adds about 1.5 billion rupees a day to the import bill for these oil giants. That's no small number. That's bleeding margins, plain and simple. But there's more. The Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical oil routes, is now under great threat. Iran is talking Hormuz blockade, while Houthi rebels keep disrupting the Red Sea. Tankers are being forced to reroute around Africa, making the journey longer and way more expensive. In fact, freight costs have jumped a staggering 160% compared to pre-pandemic levels. And here's the twist. India's oil companies can't just pass these rising costs onto you and me at the pump. Fuel prices are politically sensitive, and petrol and diesel price rise has cascading effects on the prices of rice, vegetables, and other essential commodities. So the companies take the losses for the time being. Their marketing margins, they're not just shrinking, they're turning negative like the 5 rupee plus losses per litre we saw in 2023. Even when refineries make money, it's not enough to cover these losses. Now investors have noticed all this. On June 13, 2025, stocks of BPCL, HPCL and IOC all tumbled as oil prices dropped substantially. In April, foreign investors yanked over 8,000 crore rupees out of India's energy sector, worried about where this conflict is headed. Here's another concern. Iran pumps out 3.7 million barrels of oil every single day. That's about 4% of the world's total supply. If that stops, or if Hormuz is shut, India's oil basket dries up fast. Alternatives like US crude are more expensive and take longer to ship. So, what can the government do? Not much. Cutting fuel taxes would blow a hole in the budget. Subsidies are an option, but they're expensive and risky. For now, India's oil giants are left to absorb the shock. So, here's what you need to remember. Crude costs are rising, supply chains are at risk, marketing margins are squeezed, stock prices are falling, and it's all triggered by Iran-Israel conflict more than 2,000 kilometers away. When oil becomes a weapon of war, India has to rethink energy security, not just for our economy, but for our future resilience.